ZvZ is not a thing we're likely to see today, because I have a lot of faith in Impact here. Even though I think to the bottom left, he's my favorite Protoss, one of the best Protoss we have currently. It is the blue Protoss herO.
In the top right, as the red Zerg, it is Impact.
But to extrapolate my ramblings there a little bit further, I think Impact's actually looking really good in this matchup. And granted, maybe I'm getting too much out of that first best of 3 series we saw from him. But if he beats herO, then he'll be out of the group in first, and we'll have a ZvP for the grand finals. If herO wins, then we'll have a ZvZ for the grand finals. Either way, it's been a pretty good day for StarCraft, and we just got to witness Rogue be a god. He went like beyond Super Saiyan in that last game. It was so sick.
He did some really cool positioning against the Immortals. That's definitely not in question. I think he goes to Kaimis for the Twitch Prime sub.
Oh,
yes.
Shoot. Nice catch. I missed that. That brings us up to 898 out of a 900 goal. So close.
Yeah. I was just guessing it how to say your name. Bit of probe shenanigans here, as Impact did have to deal with the probe block, but it looks like herO wasn't actually that keen on blocking it as long as possible. Usually if they get there in time, the Zerg player just says, oh, damn it, and then takes the third. Oh well. Also, really odd Overlord scouting for Impact. His second Overlord went to like see if there was like a proxy.
You know what? I think against most Protoss, this makes no sense, but against herO, this is actually exactly what he should be doing. Because let's be real, herO is just as likely to hit you in the macro game as he is to proxy you. I mean, he was the dirtiest Protoss next to Classic for the longest time.
Yeah, he was. I don't know about like a pylon, a gateway proxy, but he might have sent a second probe out there, and that would have been a really nice scout indeed. Not the case, of course. The pylon was back at home, and Stargate back at home. Impact can just take a third.
To be honest, I'm just like, every game we get into, I always hope to see the more nefarious side of herO. I think those are some of the most fun games we get to cast when that's the case.
Yeah, they are. I feel like he's a little more limited against Zerg on the shenanigans. Like he can all in. He can do cool micro. And there's a couple of silly builds he can do, but it's really against Terran where it's really truly disgusting.
When you want to inject from a ranged, that's I think what just happened.
Yes.
She was trying and missed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the Adept just kind of poking in for scouting. It is only one. There are some players who like to go for the 2 Adepts because it gives you the ability to kill drones. 1 Adept is pretty much just scouting, though.
Yeah. For sure. We haven't really seen any of our Protosses do anything too crazy. I guess Deer did use more Adepts in that last game. Man, that's crazy. That's how it started. And that was kind of a shock. But I mean, like, some Protosses have been building a Void Ray to move in on the main base. Some, like, Zest builds 2 Oracles and a Phoenix to lift the Queen in the main. And that's why some Zergs are putting down 2 Spore Crawlers in the main. It would have been what, Rogue's expecting, for instance, last game. But besides that, or with that in mind, we have not seen any of that. Like, it really has just been the Oracles for scouting and a Phoenix for killing Overlords, which, you don't need as much anymore. There was the patch, like, last week where you don't have to worry about hatchery-based drop Overlords anymore.
Yeah, for those who aren't sure what she means by this, it was moved to Layer Tech, the Ventral Sax upgrade. And I really feel like that patch was a direct result of Pyeongchang and just like a way to target Scarlet.
I don't know.
I mean, there were a lot of Zergs getting away with it, right? But
yeah. It didn't help that, like, there was that, then immediately there was Reddit thread that got a lot of traction saying just, like, it's not so much that it's broken, guys, but it's also really boring to have to open up Stargate every game. And then the other tournaments that happened, like, it was a big culmination of things.
That's an argument I can get behind, actually. One of the things I really do love about StarCraft is the variety. And yes, there are still, like, 3 main paths everybody tends to go, right, for builds, but there's variety. When you have to go one no matter what every single time, I think that takes away some of the beauty that is StarCraft.
Yeah, I agree. I felt for the process a little bit there. But, we still have Stargate as the most common opener, and we still see things like these Adepts get some damage in. That was a bit clever, kind of distracting in the natural and heading towards the third, but there weren't too many drones there. Or they were pulled away very quickly.
I was wondering if he was going to commit to that. The Phoenix could have crowd controlled some of the queens, and those adepts really could have gone to work. But I like the fallback. As he's setting up for Robo, he's not going to have a lot of other production, so keeping these adepts alive to protect his third base investment is actually very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going for the double Robo again. This worked out really well for him. It technically, like, if we really look at that last game between Deer and Rogue, it worked out well for Deer. He just fumbled at the end a little bit. But no, like, no one's really been hit by any weird timings or weird compositions that the double Robo Immortal production hasn't been worth it. But this game, Rogue does add on, or Impact, mixing up my Zergs here. Impact does add on a Baneling Nest, not a Roach Warren.
I have the same problem with Protoss. They all look alike, man.
Yeah, seriously, I'll just make Adepts in Phoenix. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yikes.
Oh, the Baneling Nest is a little late, and that is a lot of Adepts. Are they going to shade in? They see Banelings now morphing. Ooh. It's a little dangerous.
It's a fight he probably could have taken, and he probably could have taken all the drones out, but in the process would have lost all of his army. So I like the cancel. I think it's a much smarter move. The temptation, though, fighting that temptation, seeing that the Banelings aren't done, seeing how low the Zergling count is because they're morphing into Banelings, like, you know there's little to no resistance for those 10 seconds. And it only takes 5 of those 10 seconds to kill the drone line. Yeah,
it does. You know, if he can clear up some creep spread, actually gets a live creep tumor there, which is kind of nice, and maybe split up the adepts, then it might be worth actually letting the shade transfer. You get 2 drone lines, and suddenly 10 drones go down very quickly. But then he would have lost all of his fodder for his Immortals. He made so many adepts that his Twilight Council was really pushed off this time. It wasn't too far behind the double Robo last time we saw it from herO, and now it's only halfway done. So it's not like Charge ought to be coming in to fill that gap.
Well, a lot of movement on the map, but not actually a lot of action. Zergling just kind of scouting, the adepts posturing, but not really going into the base. And we got a single dropper lord? Oh, that's right, it's Impact. It's been a while since we've cast him, and I kind of forgot that his thing to do is, seriously, 4 Banelings almost every game, no matter what, rain or shine. Do him through a drop.
I think if you're going to go for Ling-based games and you're going to get +2 melee, which is, you know, only like 50% of games nowadays, it used to be like 100, then go for the drops. Go for 2 drops. Really, one might be a little too easy to defend against, but when you put in 2 and they gotta look at the army as well, that's when things are scary. This is also not hitting with +2.
Yeah, and the key element to that is it's one of those critical upgrades. If you've got +2 upgrades, you one-shot probes, easy.
I mean, it's still, you know, 2 Banelings will kill it, and there's 4 in there. Like, it'll demolish a drone probe line. Excuse, that was really weird. Like, you pan to the Oracle getting destroyed, and then you coughed, and I was like...
That's because I was looking for the mute button.
That was the weirdest death animation I've ever seen.
They didn't hear me cough, so...
Well, you guys can imagine, like, I thought that Oracle died, and it sounded like a cough. There we go, but it is scouted. This is... Yeah, it's one Overlord drop, you know? He's already looking at his base. This wasn't that difficult.
It's still splash damage. I mean, the thing is, like, okay, he doesn't have that +2, and he might by the time this finally unloads at this rate, but still, if all the probes are pulled in the wrong direction, this can go poorly. It's going to try and drop out some of the Banelings. 2 managed to escape, but they're not going to do much. The Phoenix are on guard.
So, the Nexus was canceled. I was worried it had been killed, but that was the ultimate distraction. The Banelings didn't get very much, but the Lings could have gotten a straight-up kill, which, you know, they didn't, but it definitely could have happened. Now, Impact has Ling, Baneling, Hydra, which I do believe is a little bit more finicky against the mass Immortals that herO has, because one Ling taps an Immortal, and then it suddenly is just, the Immortal's just not as useful as it once was. Obviously, they don't have extra bonus damage to Lings, too, and you can just make so many more Lings than Roaches.
I like, you know, there needs to be like a how it looks versus how it feels for the Immortal shield sometimes. Like, stub your toe on the corner of the desk, boom, shield goes up.
Yeah, that's what it does, and it's very, it definitely overreacts. But this is going to be an interesting fight. Both of them have some decent concaves. not a lot of banelings here, but there's also not a lot of things that use the banelings on. It's mostly immortals, but the adept to the front could be taken out.
God, that is actually 12 immortals we're looking at, folks. That's a lot of health in the army to have to chew through. The force fields are really good on that front line, and the Hydras can shoot over it, sure, but the banelings have all been taken care of. There's a counterattack, though. Oh no, the wall was left open, and the Lings are through to the main. All the probes running for their lives now.
A big deal as to why that was so easy looking for herO was that Impact had this many. Oh god. Oh
big
god.
rain. 36 probes dead.
He had so many Lings on the other side of the map, and he still wasn't even maxed out. He's never been maxed out in this game, I believe. So of course herO took a very good fight against that. But now Impact has killed majority of herO's economy, and maybe he could hold the other side. He got rid of the fodder on the front, but the Immortals still live.
Well, another element to this, too, is the fact every single warp bin has been used at home defensively, so these zealots are running across the map, but there's nothing coming out of this warp prism because the gateways are dry, and he's out of money from all the shuffling of the probes. I mean, God, I'm scared to look at that income spike, and yeah, it's nasty. But big surround, huge concave, both sides sandwiching in, but is it going to be enough? There's nothing on the backside.
That was kind of a hard decision for herO, though. Only had so many force fields, does finally utilize all of them, so no Guardian Shield. A lot of Immortals died on the right side, but that still might not be good enough for Impact.
You know, for better or worse on how this game ends for Impact, I like the way he's playing this out. There's a lot of thought going into these attacks.
It's really just Immortals here. No Lings or Banelings coming from the backside. Maybe now as they finish up, but there's more force fields to be used.
Not many, though. He's almost out.
Yeah, I think he made like 4 more. I want to say herO wins as long as he has a choke here, but it's kind of an okay concave for Impacts. Drones are going to be pulled as well.
It's desperate. The Banelings can't even fit through those force fields. We're going to start seeing herO's classic Warpers of Micro if this gets down to the wire, but I think he's all right. The Banelings break through, but they're going off on Immortals, not on Zealots.
Dang, this got really, really close. A couple of the last second Immortal Micro was perfect, but you know, a big reason why he starts warping in all these sentries is that he really is quite low on minerals. All those probes died. Luckily, he had a lot of a gas bank, so there we go. It's all gone now, and he is just going to... it's an all-in, you know? If it doesn't work here, then Impact maybe still win this game with a superior economy.
The problem is that was his best time to win because those Immortals had their shields used up. Yeah. Now they're already off cooldown again. He's got another 100 health on each of these units. This is something where I think Impact, you know what, he pulled the drones. He could have lost even more drones too, right? Because he had killed so many of his opponents, but I think that opportunity is gone. He knows it. GG.
Wow. Wowzers.
I love herO, man. That was good. That was good from Impact too, though. I like these games. These aren't like, we're getting 2-0s for scores, but it's not actually like the first and second series today were pretty one-sided, but the second and third, or the third and fourth, excuse me, these have been sick games despite their scores.
Yeah, Impact, you know, maybe messed up a little bit there. He didn't have a maxed out army when he accepted the push, but he did get those Lings in, so.
I did not consent to this push.
I feel like he could have been maybe maxed out. I think he had started an infestation pit and was like hoping he could start macroing, getting to that tier 3, but herO had other plans.
Well, Acid Plant is a little unconventional, but that was the second game selected here. Oh, did you make the lobby? Excuse me, let me leave this one.
I did. Yeah.
I'm in like autopilot. I thought your computer was still farting out, but all right, cool. But yeah, Acid Plant a little unconventional, and if this goes to game 3, Backwater is the third map. So this is hardly the vanilla map pool we're used to seeing.
Well, certainly not with Acid Plant.
I like the intro for this one, though. This is one of the cooler new ones, guys, so hopefully you enjoy it too. For those who don't know, by the way, I make all these intros. This is not something that comes with the game, and like we have to license / buy some of the music for it. It's just like a nice little bit of extra for the stream, so I hope you guys enjoy these. Either way, we're ready when the players are. We'll hop into this here pretty quick. So see you guys in game, as long as I don't press all the wrong buttons. All right, game. Not quite set and match, but a nice victory for this fella nonetheless. In the bottom right, he's up 1-0. It's the red Protoss, herO.
In the top left, as the orange Zerg, it is Impact.
Impact didn't even lose all that badly. That was a pretty tight game, especially towards the end. So I've got some faith in him to bring this up to that tied series. But only these two players can really choose how that'll play out. This is much closer than I expected, though, just based off that first game.
Yeah. Well, I think Impact might have actually had a really good shot there. There's a lot of close things about it, you know, just down to the wire in the last minute, of course, but also the fact that Impact is willing to play lane Baneling Hydra, whereas the other Zerg games we've seen have been mostly Roach or Roach Hydra, and that really changed things up. That was something that herO maybe didn't expect, but had to accommodate for with his slow-moving mass immortal-based arm.
That was so cheeky. I love it.
But yeah, it shows that there's going to be a bit different of a ZvP here. But Impact, it's Acid Plant. I actually don't think he'll all in. I think it'll be another macro game.
Well, I know we don't have a bracket that we're showing, and I'll try and get that rectified for the upcoming streams, guys. But just a quick reminder, this is the winner's match. So the person that wins this moves on to stage 2, easy peasy, and the loser follows the fight against Rogue. So we have one last best of 3 coming up after this series is done.
Cool.
By the way, I know we've got a very distinct lack of Terran in this group, but if you guys haven't seen what's happening in the other group, you won't be super disappointed. In fact, there's maybe even too many Terran in the other BTSL Korea group, because on April 2nd, we'll be back with Beyond versus Solar and Innovation versus Gumiho. Good luck, Solar.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be guessing that one. It is going to be Maynard once again.
Yeah, but it'll be good games nonetheless. I mean, I just love seeing Beyond and Solar. It's a classic match we've had in the Alima League so many times.
Mm-hmm.
You still get fun matches though, right? Because, oh wait, no. That's right, I forgot you can't do BTSL Asia Open. I gotta find stuff for that.
Correctamundo.
Because I was gonna talk about the parting series that's on deck for that one, but I guess we'll have to put that on conversation for another time. Of course, you got that really fun Nation Warrior, so I don't think it's too bad of a trade-off.
No, it's certainly not. And I do get to cast BTSL while Maynard is away having fun, so.
Yeah, busy getting married. What a guy.
Yeah, honeymooning, whatever.
Do you think they
put his wife?
Do you think they put one of the rings on his dreadlocks?
No, I don't.
Would that be romantic or weird? Actually, I think there's just so much good StarCraft going on right now, and I said this on Twitter, but I want to actually just take a moment. We got 5,000 people tuning in, so some of you are not obviously paying attention, but I want to take this time to actually give some big credits to Blizzard, because I feel like it's the first time in almost 3 years they actually took the time and the effort to do their Challenger season working with people like Go Gaming and working with BaseTradeTV to create as little overlap as possible. In fact, there's almost none that I'm aware of. So Challenger season's coming up, and there's no problems for any of the players in our events or Nation Wars or anything like that. So big props to Blizzard. They killed it in a good way this time.
Nice. That's always good to hear.
But ooh, these adepts, they transfer in, and those drones, they get pulled pretty quick. This isn't too bad.
Yeah. Not to be said there. You do have herO going for one of the fastest third bases you can, like kind of more old school Stargate opener with that like 4-minute even Nexus. Doesn't take the time out of Robo or Toilet Council and provide aggression, which means that there won't be a lot of aggression for Impact to worry about after those adepts. The Oracle should be taken care of, and these adepts, I don't think will be getting sent across the map. If they are, I mean, it's not for very much.
I like that transfer to safety too. That was well handled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Roach warned for Impact, so I played Ling Baneling on one of the maps. Maybe not so confident in this one.
Ooh, I don't actually like that shield battery placement. That box blocks out one of the better mineral patches.
It absolutely does.
I mean, not devastating to the upcoming economy, but still not great either. Ooh, these slip by. That's a bit of a problem. Forces a probe pull. You can't ignore 3 Zerglings. These will kill a lot of workers if you do.
I'm having to warp it in the main, but there's nothing really like coming at him. In fact, herO is the one that's coming at impact. He sent a couple of adepts across, but not too many. 6 is an okay number.
Yeah, you know, dealing with adepts when there's just like one clump of them is a lot easier than dealing with 4 or 5 all in different bases. But herO doesn't get to do all the crazy Super Saiyan moves. He does end up falling back with these guys, and the adepts in the main got picked off pretty quick. So Oracle chills back. She's got 75 energy. This could have been devastating, but Impact was on the ball, and he responded appropriately.
And herO does like his double robos, it seems. So really pushing off that Twilight Council.
Oh, this positioning worries me a little bit, though. This is at the 3rd where it's kind of exposed. I don't think it's in the worst spot you could ever have, but this is hardly the safety of his main, much less his natural.
I really like that he canceled the show batteries. Maybe he was worried that he would see more than just the roaches he saw with the adepts, because there wasn't a 4th base yet. And then when he realizes that it's not that scary, he cancels, because that was some awful SimCity if he had to respond 2 places at once. That, you know, there's a period of time where there's always 2 robots at the 3rd. So it's not like it's too weird, but it does look kind of scary.
Well, the other part of it, too, is shield bags are just plain expensive. Oh, no, not again.
That probe wasn't even hold positioning.
It wasn't even big enough to block the wall anyways. It's a two-man job for the 1-man probe.
No, that Oracle has a ton of energy, so I guess it'll be cleaned up. But Impact has gotten into the base multiple times. Now does some probe damage. 5's not too bad. And is on his way to lurkers.
He's seen, by the way, the double robo already, so that's not needing to be scouted. But, oh, adepts get into bases again. Not going to be devastating drones, but get some more kills. I was bringing up with the Overseer, though, because he did scout the mains, use the extra gateways, but really, nothing that herO has done should be standing out to him. This is pretty standard stuff.
Now, this is a bit of an odd attack. I think that's herO has waited a lot longer for every other game to push forward. I'm recalling seeing maybe 6 or 7 Immortals. This is 3 with a ton of sentries.
War Prism's still alive, but she's not doing any pickup micro, which does worry me because that's like herO's #1 thing we know him for.
I guess he's just waiting to see if the Immortals or what. Yeah, he's only looking at the Immortals to pick up. And he finds a safe spot to warp in. These are not charge lots. These are just regular adepts.
It's not a good sign for Impact that he's already pulling the drones to this. Hold position to block out, not even attacking.
Wow. Wow, this is gonna be game. 42 drones die. Impact was at 80 workers when this happened. He was so greedy.
Yeah, the War Prism dies, so it'll be the end of the attack, but you're right, that still might be the end of the game. 4 bases, and he doesn't have much to saturate them. 50 workers dead in total by the time he backs away.
What a sneaky attack by herO, you know? Like, he's been pushing off his Twilight Council more and more every time we see him play this style, and then this game, he just, like, simply doesn't get it. Well, I guess he has it, but doesn't use it.
It was such a basic attack, though. I mean, honestly, not a lot of tech with this. There wasn't the finesse of storms to dance around. Like, this was pretty much as brute force as Protoss gets, and the worst part about this for Impact was he had just scouted everything. He saw the extra gateways coming down. He knew the double robo was out. Really, that extra droning, A, it let him lose some more, sure, but B, like, he should have had more army.
Hey, if he scouts that army moving across the map, 100% he's ready to go, and herO just uses that as kind of like a bluff. He's like, okay, you're ready, I'm ready, let's just, let's play a macro game. Instead, he saw a wide open, unscouted attack path. He does have pretty late charge and pretty late storm, but if he takes out the lurker den, then that's pretty good.
Impact does squeeze in 7 or so lurkers, so he will have some, but that's a wonderful snipe for these Immortals. Also, a lot of debate going in chat. Why do these units look so funny? I've never seen this in a tournament before. These are the Purifier skins that came out with the War Chest for Katowice. They are super cool looking, and BaseTradeTV has no problem with skins, guys. We love skins. But
oh god, back away from that one.
Impact loves that herO didn't have detection. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I was going to mention that Nation Wars also apparently has no problem. Which I did not notice, but the other casters did.
Like Blizzard sponsored too, aren't they, with the war chest and all that?
Yeah.
Although I guess if you are sponsored by the war chest specifically, you would want skins to be on.
You think so? This has been a disaster of an attack, by the way. Not only did he run into lurkers he didn't know about, they had popped the shields, so the immortals just get taken out by the rest of the hydras and lurkers.
Well, that being said, he still gets his money worth. A base does go down at the end of the day, and these immortals should get out of there alive. In fact, they're going back to the main, right back into the action. Also, big thank you to the folks over on OC Esports for that host. Hope you guys had a good cast this morning. Always respect to our fellow StarCrafters.
Yeah. You're right. Like, the fourth base going down is probably enough to make that worth it because herO was in such a good position. He cut Impact down to like 35 workers at some point. So Impact still only at 52 and on 3 bases now as he waits for the fourth to get back up. I mean, it's cool that he killed a lot of the army for herO, but herO's the one that can replace that.
Oh yeah, I mean, money is not a problem. We take a quick look at that income graph, guys, and you can see exactly where all the drones died. It's actually pretty devastating.
I like this in the chat. He's like, "Are you kidding me? Like 4 or 5 attacks, and the lurker didn't die to those immortals." But then all I saw were queens taking like 7 or 8 attacks to die to the damn immortals.
Yeah, the dynamic there is
different.
It's pretty nuts. This base, though, is actually kind of important. This is mostly what represents herO's lead in this game.
It's very awkward, fourth base to take. I'm surprised he did. Maybe he was hoping Apex wouldn't scout it. But, while it was pounced upon initially, herO responds quickly enough to save it.
It's really nice the Zealots don't take crazy damage from the lurkers, so it does, with charge, allow them to get on top of these, and Revelation means there's no observer necessary to see where these burrow, or more importantly, see right now that they're not burrowed.
Yeah. You know, herO has no upgrades. Again, his attack did take away a lot from what was like a regular PvZ. But Impact just lost the majority of his lings around the 3rd base. Ooh. Oh, this is very effective use of them. And is down in army supply. So down 20 army supply against one that is maybe superior. I don't know if that upgrade really matters.
Ooh, but you know what? Not all these units are in the right place that they need to be. herO's got 2 immortals and a lot of zealots, and this time there's not 8 lurkers waiting for him at this base. This hatchery is sure to fall.
herO should have been a Terran player, man. This is what you're supposed to do with immortals.
And on the run-bys, aka drops, he recalls them out of there too because it's herO? Oh, magnifique.
herO still continues to have a lead in this game as he saves his 4th, even after losing a handful of probes, saves his immortals, is now onto that storm. Upgrade still not a necessity. Does he have a forge at all? No, not even for cannons.
No, it's Protoss, come on.
Oh, my bad.
If there's a forge, it's double forge, and we're watching chrono boosted upgrades. If those aren't under the production tab, I just assume there's no forge in play.
Well, I don't think he'll regret that if this game went on 10 minutes more. Maybe he does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making some good jokes. I know, guys, I'm hilarious, haha, but balance winding aside, herO has gone with such a brute force tactic. This actually reminds me a lot of what we saw earlier with the Roaches and Ravagers overwhelming poor deer, but this is, of course, the Immortals, that dynamic of 20 damage to a normal unit, 50 to an armored unit. These things tear shit up. Now they're accompanied by storms. Good luck, Impact.
Yeah, the storm's the real kicker, ain't they? He's already allowed up through the choke and around into a concave, which is, I think, less than ideal for Impact, but doesn't choose to go for the 4th, 3rd, whatever this is.
This is really well secured with the lurkers. To dodge around, it's not a bad idea, but as he casts Revelation, now he knows where the army is, but more importantly, where the army isn't.
That 5th base is a goner. And
lurker drops.
Yeah, you really can't do anything about it. Oh, this is always cool to see.
I like this, actually. This I've seen this dismantled Neeb so many times that I just have blind faith in lurker drops nowadays.
I mean, without any cannons, there's no easy peasy defense.
Ooh, this split's tough. All the zealots on the right side will be dealt with, but they distract, and the main army comes in for another base snipe, and Impact can't afford to keep replacing these hatcheries.
The probe count's really starting to rack up, though, as herO just isn't really paying attention to the lurker drops. He is entirely focused on ending the game. He needs to get an observer out here on both sides. Finally, deals with that one. 17 probes went down.
That is a lot of workers lost, but Impact has no mining going on from this base. He just got shut down. This one's only recently finished up, and it's hella oversaturated. While this goes on, we also have that transition to the fleet bacon. Yum, 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 yum.
Still no upgrades.
As good as
He's gonna
lurkers
get, like,
are, they
+1
can't
fire
shoot up.
attack. That's a good point.
I just love the idea that he's made like 50 models this game, and yeah, +1 flyer attack might be his first upgrade.
Yeah. Also, like, legit, cannons are helpful when you know they're going to do lurker drops, and they're also helpful for ling run buys. You put 2 cannons in a shield battery, and those lings have a much harder time. Now hero's down to 3 base as well. Things are getting a little tighter than maybe they should have.
Okay, so the observer he turns to snipe it, but the second the revelation goes down, he stops. There's 3 more observers behind it. Yikes!
Oh god.
Yikes!
Oh, well, that's it.
That's a yikes for me, dog. GG! herO will finish first place in the group.
Yay, herO.
Oops, hit rewind. God, I hate that. I do it all the time in co-op. Instead of quit, it's like quit and rewind. I'm sure that's a handy feature for many, but not for this guy. Okay, so this leaves us with a ZvZ for the very last map today. We're gonna have Impact versus Rogue to determine the second player to move on to the group stage number 2. I gotta tell you though, this second group is starting to, like, I'm just already fantasizing that it's like Rogue and herO and Beyond and Innovation or something like that, right? Like, oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
But, alright folks, we are currently at 898 subscribers. If you're enjoying the show today, I hope you will consider subscribing, because you will get replay packs sent out from this group to your inbox until they change that system, and then we're going to have to migrate that over to Discord. Regardless though, whenever we do cast stuff, we do send replays out to our subscribers, usually about, I want to say, an hour after the cast, usually right away, but you know, usually between right away and an hour after the cast is said and done. So if you want your hand on these juicy ass Rogue, Impact, herO, or Deer replays, consider subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, just chill out, enjoy the cast, consider checking out the sponsors we've got listed all down here, and we'll see you guys in a few minutes.